Most new Etsy shops look fine at first glance, but after studying 500 of them, I kept seeing the same 5 silent mistakes that destroys their chances of ever getting found, let alone making sales. It kills trust in seconds, makes their shop look amateur, and causes buyers to scroll right past their product. I built my Etsy shop as a stay-at-home mom during early mornings and nap times with a newborn and a toddler at home, and I've now made over $27,000 selling digital products on Etsy without paying for ads and without posting on social media. Now I teach others how to do the same inside of my program, The Sales Sprint, and many of them are making sales with brand new Etsy shops. If your shop isn't making sales, these mistakes may be the reason, and fixing them could be way easier than you think. The first mistake I saw in nearly every single shop that was stopping them from making sales was the thumbnail listing photo. This is your real first impression, not your shop, not your product, just one tiny image that your entire shop depends on. If you're brand new, a thumbnail listing photo is the very first image that shows up when someone searches on Etsy. So when a shopper types something like printable budget planner into the Etsy search bar, they're not browsing shops. They're skimming through dozens of little squares, lightning fast, looking for the one that grabs their attention. And their brain is asking, which one of these looks useful, trustworthy, worth clicking on? If your thumbnail is cluttered, zoomed out, has hard to read text, or just looks meh next to the competition, they'll scroll right past it. You could have the best digital product on Etsy, but if your thumbnail doesn't show instant value or create curiosity, it's going to be invisible. Buyers won't even give it a chance. And after going through hundreds of shops, these were the 4 most common thumbnail listing photo mistakes I kept seeing over and over again. Mistake number 1 was trying to show everything at once. This is by far the most common mistake I saw, and it's the easiest one to miss. I saw so many thumbnails where the seller zoomed out trying to fit every page or every single element into one tiny square listing photo. The problem with this is nothing stands out. It all just looks small, cluttered, and confusing. To fix this, zoom in on the most useful or eye-catching part of your product. Make it clear what the product is, even at a quick glance. One strong visual is so much more powerful than a bunch of tiny little images. Thumbnail mistake number 2 was using hard to read text. Low contrast colors, script fonts, or too much text crammed into a small space can make it hard to read on mobile, which is where most buyers are shopping. Instead, use big, bold fonts with high contrast colors like black text on a white background. And if you're using Canva, you will want to decrease the zoom size to make it really small so it looks further away, and that way you can get an idea of what your thumbnail listing photo will look like on a smaller screen. If you zoom out on your thumbnail listing photo in Canva and you have no idea what it says, chances are potential customers won't know what it says either. So always optimize for mobile first when you are making your thumbnail listing photo. Now, the third mistake I saw was overloading the thumbnail with too much info. A lot of new sellers treat the thumbnail listing photo like a sales flyer. They try to fit in every feature, every benefit, in every single page. But that just overwhelms the buyer and they will skip right past it. Shoppers don't want a full breakdown, they want a quick win. Give them one clear reason to click on your thumbnail listing photo. What's the benefit of this product? Your job isn't to explain everything. Your job is to get the click. And then mistake number 4 was using low quality images. I saw thumbnail listing photos where it was just either a screenshot of the product out of Canva or just one page of the product, and it was a bundle, so we wanted to see multiple pages, but you're just showing us one page of the product. I was very underwhelmed with their presentation of the product, even though I'm sure it was great. So please use mock-ups or show us multiple pages of what we are going to get. Put your product inside a clipboard, on a desk, on a tablet, on a mobile phone, something that lets us visualize how we can use your product. A clean, styled mock-up instantly builds trust. It tells the buyer this is high quality and worth your money. Your thumbnail listing photo does not need to be perfect. It just needs to stop the scroll and give buyers a reason to click your product over all of the others. And that brings us to the next big mistake I kept seeing, and that was blending in with everyone else. It might surprise you, but standing out on Etsy isn't about being flashy. It's about being specific. But most new sellers play it safe. They create products that sound like everyone else's. Daily planner, weekly budget planner, meal tracker. It all starts to blur together. Imagine you're walking down a hallway with 50 identical doors. Are you more likely to stop at the one that says planner templates or the one that says the ultimate home management bundle? When everything looks the same, the brain checks out. Shoppers don't stop to investigate. They just keep scrolling. And blending in doesn't just show up with your product title. It's in your thumbnail design, your listing description, and even your product itself. Your buyers are asking themselves one simple question: will this work for me? If your listing feels vague or generic, the answer will always be no. So how do you fix it? Get specific about who your product is for and why it's useful. Even something simple like editable teacher lesson planner or monthly budget paycheck planner is a huge step up from just saying principal planner. Your product is a solution. If you can confidently finish this sentence, this is perfect for someone who blank, then you're on the right track. So a few examples are, this is perfect for someone who is new to homeschooling, or this is perfect for someone who wants to get out of debt faster. Now at this point, most people are thinking, but if I make my product too specific, won't it limit my sales? And actually, the opposite is usually true. When you try to speak to everyone, no one feels like your product was truly made for them. But when your product is made with a specific person in mind, it builds instant trust. Take this example. Editable teacher lesson planner might sound super niche and super specific, but a homeschooling parent could see that and think, if it's designed for teachers, it's probably structured and easy to follow. I could use that too. That clear label makes them more confident to buy, not less. And on the flip side, a vague title like Principal Planner doesn't tell them anything. It feels random, generic, forgettable. And on Etsy, forgettable equals no clicks and no sales. So do not be afraid to get specific. Your product can help a variety of people, but your messaging should speak specifically to one. And once your messaging is clear, the next thing that matters big time is how it all looks. Which brings us to mistake number 3, looking like a beginner. Now listen, everyone starts as a beginner, but the problem is when your shop looks like one, because buyers don't shop with beginners. They shop with people who look like they know what they're doing. It's not about faking success. It's about presenting your product in a way that builds trust and confidence. Think about it like this. Would you rather buy from someone whose listings look clean, polished, and organized, or from someone whose products look rushed, the fonts don't match, and the title says planner? Even if the actual product is good, shoppers make snap decisions based on how they feel. And beginner energy is a trust killer. That's why I updated the sales sprint to include an entire section on making scroll-stopping listing photos, because it is that important. And when your listing photos stop the scroll, you are not just going to be making your first sale, you are going to be making multiple sales at a time, just like my student Mimi. And the crazy part is, most of these red flags are small things, but buyers pick up on them fast. So here are a few things you want to avoid: random fonts or mismatched colors, low quality photos or Canva screenshots, titles with typos or inconsistent capitalization, and no shop banner or having a blurry shop banner. Each one of these mistakes chips away at that feeling of professionalism. Now, this doesn't mean you need a perfect shop, but you do need to look like you care. Even small changes like using the same fonts you used in your product on your listing photo, or using the same colors you used in your product on your listing photo. These build continuity and it makes your product feel more cohesive with your listing photos. And that instantly builds more trust and makes your shop look professional. If your shop looks unfinished, buyers will assume that your product looks unfinished too. And that leads us right into the next mistake I kept seeing, and that is hiding your credibility. Now don't worry, this does not mean you need thousands of reviews or a star seller badge, but you do need to give buyers a reason to trust you right now with 0 sales. The reality is, buyers are looking for proof. Not just that your products work, but that you're someone they can trust to deliver it. And most new sellers are hiding that proof without even realizing it. They use one word for the product title, they skip the description, they don't explain who the product is for and how it can help them. They assume if the product is good, people will buy it. But that is not how shoppers think. They need a nudge, a reason to feel safe. Your buyer already has one foot out of the door because they have so many other options. So here are a few ways to show credibility even if you're brand new. Add a shop announcement that tells people what they can expect from your shop. How will you help them? Can they get a discount? People love saving money. The second way to build credibility is to add a listing photo with a 1 to 2 sentence bio that lets people know who you are and so they can see you as a real person. The third way you can build credibility is to include a sentence in your description that lets your buyers know you understand the struggles they're going through. The fourth way you can build your credibility is to use your shop sections so people know that your products are part of a thought out collection. And the fifth way to build your credibility is to back up your products with logic or research-based language. Phrases like based on proven goal setting methods or inspired by cognitive behavioral therapy instantly make your product feel more thoughtful and intentional. Even something as simple as using a friendly tone in your product description can build trust. Just remember that you're not writing for Etsy's algorithm, you're writing for a real person. And here's where a lot of new sellers drop the ball without even realizing it, and that's mistake number 5. Creating without a plan. It's one thing to make a sale, but what turns a one-time sale into consistent, reliable income is a strategy. And most new shops just don't have one yet. They create one product, toss it up on Etsy, cross their fingers, and move on to something completely unrelated. And that's why in the Sales Sprint, we focus on creating you a strategy from day one so you are not left wondering what do you focus on next and how do you make more sales. You always know exactly what to do. Because here's the problem. Buyers don't want a shop that feels random. They want a shop that feels like it was made just for them and not by someone who is just throwing up random products hoping to make a quick buck. Instead of thinking, what else could I make? Ask yourself, what would someone who buys this product want to buy next? When your listings are connected and one person can buy multiple products, you create what I call a product cluster. That means one shopper could buy multiple products from you. Etsy connects the dots and starts showing your listings to the right people, and your shop looks intentional, not random, and that builds instant trust. For example, if someone buys a homeschool planner, they may also want a chore chart, educational worksheets, or a morning routine checklist, not a random wedding seat chart or a party invitation. Now, you can sell all of those products in one shop, but make sure the customer can find multiple products that were designed just for them. When your shop feels connected, your sales become more consistent because you're not just selling digital products, you're creating an experience that makes people want to come back for more. And that's what separates struggling shops from the ones that grow. It's not about working harder or making more stuff. It's about being intentional, giving buyers a reason to trust you, a reason to click, and a reason to come back. If you can avoid these common mistakes and start treating your shop like a system instead of a guessing game, you're already ahead of most new sellers. And if you don't want to waste time guessing what you need to be doing each day you work on your Etsy shop, in this video, I walk you through the exact 90-day game plan that I would recommend you do as a brand new Etsy seller.